Good day, students, and welcome to our English digital class. Today we will study poem 2.3 Somebody's Mother by Mary Dowbrine. Now, before starting with the poem, we will first understand the warming up section. Look at the first one. Read the following proverb that has a biblical reference. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Now find at least 5 other proverbs, axioms, quotations which convey the same message. Search the internet dictionary or of proverbs. Now here you have to read the proverbs with the biblical reference means a Bible in which brief explanation and reference to parallel passages are printed. And then you have to find at least 5 more which convey same message. You can use the internet dictionary of proverbs. Next, study the following sets of words. Set A, pleased, happy, joyful, ecstatic. Set B, letter, word, sentence, paragraph. Note, the words in these sets are arranged in an ascending order, each word showing a higher degree than the previous one. Now rearrange the following groups of words in the ascending order. Now whatever words they have given below, you have to arrange them in their ascending orders. Next, pair similar word change using the following ideas. So you have to pair the words using the ideas given below. Now we move on to the information about the poem written by poet Mary Dowbrine. Now, Somebody's Mother by Mary Dowbrine is a beautiful poem depicting wonderful values of care and love for others. An old woman wearing ragged clothes was standing at a crossing to go to the other side of the road. She was waiting for the traffic to stop so that she could safely go to the other side. Now let us move on to the poem reading and explanation. Somebody's Mother. The woman was old and ragged and grey, and bent with the chill of a winter's day. The streets were white with the recent snow, and the woman's feet with age were slow. At the crowded crossing she waited long, jostled aside by the careless throng of human beings who passed by her, unheeding the glance of her anxious eye. Down the street with laughter and shout, glad in the freedom of school let out, came happy boys like a flock of sheep, hailing the snow piled white and deep. Past the women so old and grey, hastened the children on their way. None offered a helping hand to her, so weak and timid, afraid to stir. Lest the carriage wheels or the horse's feet should trample her own in the slippery street. At last came out of a merry troop the gayest boy of all the group. He paused beside her and whispered low, "I'll help you cross if you wish to go." Her aged hands on his strong young arm she placed, and so without hurt or harm he guided the trembling feet along, proud that his own were young and strong. Then back again to his friends he went, his heart happy and well content. She is somebody's mother, boys, you know, for all she is aged and poor and slow. And someone sometime may lend a hand to help my mother, you understand? If ever she is old and poor and grey, and her own dear boy so far away. Somebody's mother bowed low her head in her home that night, and the prayer she said was, "God, be kind to that noble boy, who is somebody's son and pride and joy." Mary Taubrein. Now let us move on to stanza wise poem reading and its explanation. Somebody's mother. The woman was old and ragged and grey, and bent with the chill of a winter's day. The streets were white with the recent snow, and the woman's feet with age were slow. Important meanings: ragged, of cloth or cloths, old and torn. Grey, here, old with grey hair. Now, here the poet says that there is a woman who is old, ragged, means she is wearing torn clothes, and is also grey, which means she is pretty old with her hair turned into grey color. She is bent down with the cold winter day. There are streets with lot of snow on them, and the woman is not able to walk properly because she is very aged. At the crowded crossing she waited long, jostled aside by the careless throng of human beings who passed by her, unheeding the glance of her anxious eye. Important meanings: jostle is to push, elbow, or bump against someone roughly, typically in a crowd. Throng is a large, densely packed crowd of people or animals. Unheeding is not paying attention. Glance is to take a brief or hurried look. And anxious means feeling or showing worry, nervousness, or unease about something with an uncertain outcome. Here, the poet says that the woman was waiting for a long time at the crowded crossing. She is jostled aside, that means she is pushed aside by the careless throng, means by the crowd of the careless people. In this crowd, there are people who just pass away by her, unheeding, that is, without paying attention at her anxious eyes. That means they neglected her nervousness to cross the road. Next, down the street with laughter and shout, glad in the freedom of school let out, came happy boys like a flock of sheep, hailing the snow pile white and deep, past the woman so old and grey, hasten the children on their way. Meanings: school let out means when the school finishes, the students are let out of the school. Hailing is to cheer, salute, or greet. Pile is to place things one on top of the other. And hasten means to be quick to do something. Now, here the poet says that suddenly there are children coming out of the school as they have just finished their school. They are coming down the street with laughter and shouts. The boys were happy like a flock of sheep. These boys came down hailing the snow which is piled up on the street. They passed the old lady who was old and grey. The children were moving away fast to reach their houses. Next, none offered a helping hand to her, so weak and timid, afraid to stir, lest the carriage wheels or the horse's feet should trample her down in the slippery street. Meaning, timid is showing a lack of courage or confidence, easily frightened. Stir is to move or cause to move slightly. Lest is to avoid the risk of. And trample is to tread on and crush. Now, here the poet says that none of the boys gave her a helping hand. She was so timid means she had barely any courage or confidence. She was very afraid to stir, that is to move even a bit. She did not move in that crowd, so lest, that is to avoid, she did not move in the crowd to avoid the risk of the carriage wheels over her or horse's feet may trample, that is crush her down in the slippery street. Next, at last came out of the merry troop the gayest boy of all the group. He paused beside her and whispered low, I'll help you across if you wish to go. Meaning, gayest means the most happy, attractive, and joyous among others. And paused is to stop. Here, the poet says that at last, finally, a boy came out of the happy troop. This boy was the happiest boy of all the other boys in the troop. He came beside her, stopped, and in very soft voice told her that if she wanted to cross the street, he would help her to do so. Next, her aged hand on his strong young arm she placed, and so, without hurt or harm, he guided the trembling feet along, proud that his own were young and strong. Then back again to his friends he went, his young heart happy and well content. Meaning, trembling is to shake involuntarily with quick, short movements, as from fear, excitement, weakness, or cold. So, here the poet says that the old lady placed her hands on the young boy's strong arms, and without hurting or harming the lady, the young boy helped her to cross the street. He was proud that he had strong arms and he could help the old lady. He went back to the group with his heart filled with joy and content, that is, satisfaction, after helping the old lady. Next, she is somebody's mother, boys, for all she is aged and poor and slow. And someone sometime may lend a hand to help my mother, you understand? If ever she is old and poor and grey, and her own dear boy so far away. Your meaning of lend a hand is to help. So here the poem mentions that the boy tells to the other boys in his group that she is old, poor, and slow, but she is somebody's mother. He says that if my mother needs help to cross the street when she becomes old and I may not be near her, then someone may definitely lend my mother a helping hand. Next, somebody's mother bowed low her head in her home that night, and the prayer she said was, God, be kind to that noble boy who was somebody's son and pride and joy. Poem by Mary Dow Brine. Now, in this last stanza, the poet says that the old lady later bowed down her head in the night after reaching home to offer prayers to God, saying that God, please be kind to the noble boy who helped me today, who is somebody's son and pride and joy. Poem by Mary Dow Brine. So, this is all what is there in the poem. I hope you all might have understood the poem. Now, note that you will all read the poem aloud twice and will also write the poem in your English notebook. You will also complete all the activities given in the textbook on page number 36 in your English notebook. So that's all for today. We will meet back with a new topic. Till then, thank you and have a wonderful day.